Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello people and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Kepa fumbles, Arsenal fumble, Mikel Arteta fumbles, you know what I mean? And City win the Carabao Cup. Pep Guardiola responds to all the critics and everyone that keep saying that Pep is done, that Pep is finished. Pep Guardiola responds by winning the trophy, by winning the Carabao Cup. A lot of Arsenal fans are so disappointed with Mikel Arteta. They are so disappointed with the Kepa decision. They are so disappointed with the tactics. They are saying that they are giving the final to Pep Guardiola. Mikel Arteta completely fumbled, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. And listen, Pep used his weapons, used Nico O'Reilly to the T. Absolute fantastic second half. Totally deserved by Manchester City. If you guys are here, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, we're here with Tariq, we're here with Romario. We're joined by Ledge and Paulo as well, if Ledge has it in him to join us. Romario joined, of course, never hides. Romario joined, Tariq is here. Tariq, congratulations. Did you see the game going this way?
I mean, 2-0. No, I thought they would get a goal, but I thought it would be 2-1. So yeah, I did. I thought we would win. You know, it's a tough game, but yeah, I thought we had enough to win it.
You thought you had enough to win this game?
Yeah, Romario, in a one-off game, I thought we had enough to win it. Yeah, the season is what it is. The league is what it is. But for this game, yeah, I thought we would have enough.
Romario, what went wrong? Did you think you're gonna lose it if Kepa doesn't make that mistake?
You know what? Before that mistake, City, it was inevitable. I don't know why we've done it. We've done it a few times this season where we come out in the second half and we just defend, sit on our box, and we're comfortable in defense. It's like we enjoy it. It's like we're more comfortable defending than trying to attack. Very weird performance, man. I think we invited the pressure. You can look at Kepa, you can blame Kepa and say it's his fault, which it is for that goal. But I think the longer we stayed in that shape, the sooner City were going to score. And we were just inviting pressure. We'd win the ball, hoof it, City would get the ball back, and we go again. And that's not the performance I think I see. There's a way to lose games. There's a way to lose cup finals. You don't lose it like that, Mo. I'm embarrassed by that. I'll be honest. Poor.
Embarrassed because of the decision, or embarrassed because of what?
The performance. It's too defensive, Mo.
First half was not bad. First half you were all right, though.
Yeah, second half. This is what I mean, but it's not good enough, Mo. You know, 90 minutes. Football's 90 minutes. You have to play. You have to play the whole game.
Bought his time. Second half came out, completely dominated. I thought City deserved that second half without a shadow of a doubt.
They
do. You know, it's funny. I'll say
I
it's
am
funny
baffled. Go
because
ahead.
sorry, I was just gonna say it's funny because City this season have had a track record of dropping points in the second half, losing second halves, losing matches because of second halves. And I think you get a lot of people that made a big deal about that, and quite honestly, maybe they should have. But it wasn't City dropping or falling off in the second half. It was City coming out and taking the game to Arsenal, going on to win it. You talked about Pep and all the criticism that Pep has gotten over the last few weeks and maybe even months, talking about has he lost it? Is the game passed him by? Has he lost the locker room? So on and so forth. But Pep took his team in at halftime, gave them what they needed to come out and take the game to Arsenal to go on to win it. So big up to Pep, and hopefully that silences a lot of the questions that are being asked, in my opinion, somewhat unfairly, but we'll see.
Can I tell you what? In my opinion, the Kepa decision is what decided the game. In my opinion, because I don't think City would had the ball all the time in the second half, but I don't think he was that dangerous in the second half. And I thought if Kepa doesn't make that mistake, maybe the game would have gone longer. I think the problem for me, and Romario can answer me, I think Mikel Arteta was arrogant. He saw Pep press conference yesterday sticking to Trafford, and he said, I'm going to do the same. I don't think he was at liberty to do that. I don't think he should have done that. I think Arteta needed to know that there is a massive difference between him and Pep in terms of the trophies. Pep has done this all years by sticking to his second goalkeepers for the cup. Mikel Arteta haven't won yet. So he needed to stick to his best team. And the goalkeeper has been a massive part of Arsenal's game this season. And I think having Kepa changed like the way you play, especially in the second half. And that mistake that he did is what killed the game for Arsenal. I thought he should have started Raya. I don't know why he went. I think he's arrogant.
Does he lose? I won't say the whole locker room, but definitely he loses the player. He loses Kepa if you take this opportunity away.
I don't think so.
I've won all these matches up until this point, and now you take it away from me on the biggest stage. I worked really hard to get here. I helped us win the matches to get here, and now you're taking it away. I think there's a chance that you lose that player, if not even more the locker room, because again, there's players that this is their only, these types of opportunities are the only ones they get, and now you're taking it away from them. So yes, Pep has consistently played his cup keeper, and quite honestly, there have been finals that we've lost. I as an American, I point to Zach Steffen, the U.S. goalkeeper at the time, lost us a final, I believe, against Liverpool. So you take the ups and the downs when you do that, but to me, it's a principled approach. And if Arteta would not have done that, it would have shown more fear than anything else, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he had to play Kepa. I know.
I disagree.
I know. I've seen a lot of people go online and say should have played David Raya, and I get it. But I just think that's far from our problem today. I'm not sure if David Raya is in goal, if it makes a huge difference. I can point to the game.
He doesn't make the mistake, does he?
Yeah, but I can point to the game we drew at home with Man City where Raya played and we drew 1-1. There's loads of times when Raya's played and we haven't beat Man City. So I think it's easy to look at the keeper. I honestly think when you look at City's game plan as well, they were basically letting Gabriel and Saliba have the ball. Yeah, I know in the first half created a lot of chances, but City essentially weren't pressing us. They were letting our defense have the ball. We'd go high. Havertz might win a header. I think Saka was poor today, didn't turn up. And it's the sort of game where you need him to turn up. Eze's out, Odegaard's out. You need something from Saka. Havertz, I don't think is still fully fit. So yeah, and I don't know, like when I was on here a month or so ago, I got sort of criticised by some Arsenal fans for questioning Saka's 300k a week, his new contract. I think he deserved a new contract, but you look at how he played today. He looks a shell of his former self, and he's looked like that a few times this season. So I think we got bigger things to worry about than Kepa, man. Like, I get it. He did make a mistake. He did cause us to go a goal down, but you got to look at what we done in the other end, and I don't think we done anything. Havertz has to score. Havertz has to take that chance. A lot of Arsenal
that chance he has to score.
A lot of Arsenal fans may have been calling for Havertz to come back in the side, saying he's better than Gyökeres. Gyökeres is a flop, and I always said it. Havertz and Jesus are part of the reason we even had to sign Gyökeres in the first place. And that chance today just sums us up. We haven't actually got a killer, a clinical striker in the team who turns up every week, and that's another example of it. But then at the same time, we should have at least 2 or 3 of those chances, not just one. It's the only true chance we have.
But City as well didn't have a lot of chances. Like if you think about City, they didn't have a lot of chances today.
They didn't, Mo, but they
dominated the ball 100%.
They dominated. So that's the difference. If you're not going to have loads of chances, you have to look like you're not conceding. And I couldn't say City looked like conceding apart from that chance. I wouldn't say they were really under much threat apart from that moment. It's not good enough, Mo. You have to create more dangerous chances. When you look at it and you truly just break it down to the simple fact, Mo, that we're supposed to be the best team in England. We're supposed to be better than the City side. You would have thought we would have lent on them a bit more. First half, I think we did opening 20, 25 minutes. After the 25th minute, I couldn't tell you what we'd done, Mo. Honestly, we should have been so much better than that. And you saw the confidence I was speaking with before the game. I didn't see anything to back up what I said. That is poor. Very, very poor performance. Very poor. Very poor.
Spartacus, what are you saying?
I think today was just vintage City, innit? Like, we were able to play the ball out of the back quite consistently. We were able to be going through the thirds, spin Arsenal down. And I think a lot of what Romario said is due to City just being able to push everybody from Arsenal into their own box. And then when they get the ball, they have such a big length to run that they can't really do that efficiently. And then even though I don't think he had a particularly good game, Kusanov being there is a safety blanket. So when they put the ball over the top, he's probably going to run and get to the ball faster. The issue is when he doesn't get to the ball before them. So the opposition, then he just, like he did that.
Also, there's one more thing. I think Kusanov and Ake, after that first chance, they had a very easy game, which is Gyökeres and Havertz should really trouble them more. Like, I thought that in a very simple game, Erling Haaland was dominated by Gabriel and Saliba, but this is Gabriel Saliba. With all due respect, Kusanov and Ake didn't have a tough game like that. You know, after the first 10, 15 minutes, there was no trouble for them. There was easy game for them. And I'm like, Arsenal needed to put a little pressure on them, and there was... Well, I think lackluster performance.
They couldn't play through the press, so they kept trying to go long. And Kusanov is not going to lose a foot race to anybody in this league. So if you play the ball over the top, Kusanov's going to beat you to the ball, and that happened the vast majority of the game. Because they couldn't play through the press. And then we took the press off in the second half. I disagree with Spartacus.
They could have played long, Tarek. They could have played long, Arsenal. They could have played long behind and let them run.
They tried to play over the top. They tried to play long, but Kusanov is beating every single player on this pitch to the ball, especially Gyökeres, who's not that fast. So he's cleaning up all those long balls, and then they're coming back. We're going back the other way. I disagree with Spartacus, who said that he didn't think that Kusanov had necessarily a good game per se. I thought he was exceptional. Again, he made he got called for a yellow card. I think he got the ball, but he got called for a yellow card. We'll take it. But outside of that one play, I don't think he put a foot wrong. I just
I think the thing with Kusanov is he's still very young, and he still does things that are very unnecessary and very characteristic of a young player, and it takes unnecessary risks, and sometimes is inconsistent with his passing, especially into the middle of the pitch. His long passing is actually better than his short passing, which is something that's quite unusual to say. But I think he had an okay game, to be honest. But I think for me, the guy that was stand out in the City game was Matheus Nunes. He was completely killing off everybody on that right-hand side and being able to progress the ball, overlapping Semenyo, creating chances, or creating overloads. I think him and Bernardo Silva today were phenomenal. If you want to see a performance from an 8,
so Rodri had a phenomenal game, in my opinion, especially in the second half. Well? Rodri was so dominant. And you watch today, and you can see the difference between Zubamendi and Rodri. Rodri is not shy of receiving the ball, pushing it forward, finned off for himself for a tackle. He's not shy to go into tackles. I thought Zubamendi, for the player he is, was horrific. Because if you're going to get out of the press, you need your DM to actually get on the ball more. And he was hiding. He didn't get the ball. Rice as well. Like, I'm not here saying that Rice should have or could have. Rice wasn't there.
You're right.
But your DM, your regista, the guy at the base of that triangle is the one that should ask for the ball, dominate, always be an angle. He wasn't good at all. He looked like not a third of the player that Rodri is.
But Mo, you know what it is.
Question this: what player do you guys think that Zubamendi is? Like,
he has started the season amazing.
That's it. Like, he's a good player, but he's not.
He started the season amazing. Come on now, we're not gonna change the narrative throughout the season.
I never changed. We're not going to change. He's a good player. He's not. I don't think he's
today
anywhere comparable to Rodri.
Today is when you're under. Okay, it's easy to play when you have position and the opposition is sitting deep. The harder part for the DM is to receive when there is pressure, to create the right angles, to actually get the ball from the defense, to link up the play. He didn't. He was non-existent, especially in the second half. He didn't. He wasn't. He was non-existent in the second half. And he has to hold it for this. You have to show your level. You have to show up. You have to dictate the game. He didn't.
And you know Gabriel, what it is? Zubamendi,
with all due respect, he was marked by Bernardo Silva. He wasn't marked like it was Bernardo Silva and Cherki. He wasn't even marked by physical players. With all due respect to Zubamendi.
But no, you talk about turning up in big games. I think Zubamendi, he's done it for Spain against England. I know it's the one game everyone points to, but it's not to say Zubamendi hasn't got that in his locker. I think Mo's right, and I think because you don't see it enough, that's the problem. When you don't see it, it's like, well, why do you expect it? But Zubamendi, that's why Arsenal bought him. I make Mo right. We bought Zubamendi to help us suffocate teams and get on the ball, keep attacks, maintain it, pass the ball forward, keep the attack alive. But I do think him and Rice hit today. I don't think Rice was at his best today on the ball. I think Rice was trying to prioritize defensive actions more. Everything was a little bit frantic. Rice and Saka arguably are two most important players when it comes to consistency, where you expect them to turn up each week. And I don't think either of them played really well today, man. You got to look at it that way. And I think when you talk about Rodri having a good game, Bernardo Silva, I agree. But even like Mo said, did Arsenal make their jobs hard? Did we make Rodri feel like he had to turn up and play his best game? Did Bernardo Silva, was he ever really under true threat? He was kicking us all over the pitch, winning smart free kicks for City, and he was just sort of bullying the midfield. I honestly look at it, and I just think Arsenal didn't turn up today, man. And I'm not saying City were bad, City were good, but I don't think City had to be at their best today. I think we made your lives very easy today, man. That weren't good enough from us, not at all.
I don't know if that affects the league or not. That's Martin. Let me do this. Kepa shouldn't have been picked, but we can't put it all down to that. We should have done more with the first 20 minutes. I agree with this. Kepa shouldn't have been picked. I still insist on that. I think that decision is actually the wrong decision, without a shadow of a doubt in my mind. I still insist that Kepa, that mistake that he did is an unforced error. And the opposite, Trafford saved a triple save in the first half, a 1-on-1, and then after this. So that's the difference. This was City's best game after beating Liverpool 3-0. It's hard to play them at their best. Rodri had more ball position than Rice and Zubamendi, 100% together, 100%. Rodri showed them level today, but I agree with Romario. Did they make even his job hard? Did they press Rodri even? They didn't. But Mikel Arteta as well.
I think they didn't. Go on with the super chats. I'll say this after.
You trying to use Sky to prop Eucharist is the problem with our fans. They're both utter crap, but credit to City. They deserved, will bounce back in the Prem. Romario, like, Havertz, listen, he had like 5-10 minutes, and then after this, he was non-existent as well. He lost the ball every time. Havertz is non-existent. I agree with Mike here. Havertz is non-existent. But also Eucharist, he made the runs and nobody picked him. Nobody picked the guy, in my opinion. It was shit.
You said it, Mo.
Saliba was our only good player, but credit to City. Saliba was the only guy. Gabriel was not good.
Saliba was class. Saliba was class. Great game from Saliba. But that's like you said, Mo. Where was everyone else? Everyone else was missing. Hincapié. Sad, man. It's sad. It's sad.
Hopefully we can do the cup double. I'd be happy. Are you giving up on the league, Adam? You giving up on the league?
Yeah, I think so. So what I'll say is there is probably 90 +% chance that Arsenal go on to win the league from here, right? We'd expect them to go on to win the league. The only question is if this messes with their mentality, if this messes with their mind, and then they truly do start to bottle. Because if they lose from here, that would be a bottle. I don't think there's really any chance that City go on to win the league. But at this point, there's only one team that's guaranteed a trophy this season, and that's us. And so, we'll see if they go get theirs. We'll see if they go get theirs or not. But at this point, only one of us have a trophy. So they'll talk about the quad, they'll talk about all the trophies that Arsenal could win, but they could also leave this season with 0 trophies. And the only team that won't leave the season with 0 trophies that we can guarantee today is City.
Martin, just give me a second, Martin. City had the second goalkeeper and 5th choice center back. I'm going to tell you the difference, Nicole. Mikel Arteta was in no liberty to start the second goalkeeper. City can. Pep Guardiola can. He has a history of doing this. Mikel Arteta should have started his first goalkeeper, right? You haven't won before. It's nervousness. There is pressure on City to win this because of what the guys have said about the league. But City always did this. Arsenal, this is your first final. Since the FA Cup final 6 years ago, you start your strongest goalkeeper. Today is the biggest difference was the fullbacks. Excellent performance from Nunes and Nico O'Reilly. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Oh, fuck off, Zomer. Oh. Sorry. Oh my God. Martin, go ahead, Martin.
Bit humble, eh? That's what I got told. Pep's finished. Dusty club. Players crap. Don't come into my back garden of the Etihad South and think you can take on the guys. Because second half, outstanding. I've given Arsenal props. I've already given up the league. I've given congratulations. Today was our day. And we was magnificent second half. Magnificent. Cushion off. Put Gyökeres in his back pocket and then left him there. Doku had Ben White on toast. Twisted blood. Rodri. That's my Ballon d'Or guy. Please sign a contract. Please. I mean, I can just go on. I can go on. It's just cruel now, isn't it? I've had a great time. What a great day.
Successful season.
And,
if you just win the Carabao. If you just win the Carabao.
Listen, 19 trophies under Pep Guardiola are classed as successful anyway, or whatever it is. Something stupid like that anyway. Yeah. Any trophy in any season is successful, yeah. Any trophy.
Martin, I didn't hear you mention.
And that is,
I won't mind the FA Cup as well.
And that is the problem. That is the difference, Romario. City can win the Carabao Cup and go out this season and say, well, we won the Carabao Cup. We're all right. Arsenal should have won with their strongest. This is why I'm saying, like, you should have.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference.
Maybe.
As Martin is saying, a Carabao Cup would be happy. He'd be happy with the trophy this season. He went to Wembley. He won it. He's conceding the league. 95% Arsenal win the league. Arsenal, you didn't have that luxury. To be honest with you, you didn't. And I think that decision is what cost Arsenal, to be honest. But also Mikel Arteta. To be honest with you, tactics in the second half, he was shambolic. There's also late subs as well. Way late subs. He refused to take out Zubamendi. Zubamendi played 90 minutes. 90 minutes. You know what I mean? 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Why is Zubamendi there 90 minutes? Take out Rice or Zubamendi. Go for it at 1-0. Why didn't he go for it? Pep Guardiola had the courage to play Rodri only, right? He played Rodri by himself in that center. Pushed Bernardo, pushed Cherki, pushed Nico O'Reilly forward. Mikel Arteta didn't. He was scared. It's the second half. He was scared.
And
Go ahead,
Pep didn't make any sub until the 90th minute. Foden. He actually didn't even need to do anything, Pep. What he started with was what worked. I think Arteta's got to have a look in the mirror here, Mo. You're right. He's got to start being a bit more expressive. Like, you can't lose games like that in the final. It is bad, that, innit? It is bad. Yeah, you're right.
think-
Do you know what's most important for me today? Sorry, is a bunch of new players, young players who never won anything, never tasted success. I've got a trophy. They know what it means to lift silverware now. Kushanov, Mamouche, O'Reilly never lifted it, and there's loads more. James Trafford never lifted a trophy, and they've experienced it.
I agree. Nico O'Reilly as well. Nico O'Reilly was fantastic. Doku never won a trophy at City. He won the league with City. Semenyo winning the trophy is massive for him and his confidence, of course. Trafford, I agree. And Pep is, by the way, if you're looking at the lineup that Pep lined up in the beginning of the game, he's brave. He's playing 5 attackers. Hey,
and Rayan Cherki even had a couple of minutes to do a couple of keepy-uppies, and no Spartacus. I didn't lose my head. I was quite enjoying it at the time.
Nah, I don't believe that. I need video evidence from that.
Do you think that
Rayan Cherki, Mo, had time to do keepy-up?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Romario, like, is this going to affect the team at all in the league?
Man,
I don't think so. Nah, I don't. Listen, like Tarek said, if we don't win the league from here, so it is bottling it. Like, and if City win the league from here, it's probably one of their best title wins because no one's given them a chance. I'm seeing bookies have got us pretty much 90% on to win it. Like, we have to win it from here. And you know what? If you do win the league, then this is forgotten about. All of a sudden, this becomes a little bit irrelevant. So, yeah, look, a league title is all this team needs, all the club, the fan need, but it has to be the league or Champions League. Like, FA Cup's not enough. It's not, especially after today. It definitely increases the pressure, and I think the international break is a gift and a curse now. I think it helps that there's not an immediate game, so you have that time to forget about this. By the time we come back, let's be honest, no one's going to really be talking about it from an Arsenal perspective. It's all about the league. If this derails them, Mo, they don't deserve a league title. They don't deserve to get their hands anywhere near it. This should give them energy. This should give them the fuel to go and win it, not feel sorry for themselves and bottle it. So, yeah, man, they got to win it. I was talking with Chess on Friday or whenever I was on here with you, Mo. Like, I was talking with Chess, so the fact that they've gone out, performed like that, I have to carry the same chest. I think we'll win the league. We'll do it. But City got the laughs today, man. And I think that game of the Etihad, City will be confident
that
now.
for me, that's wrong. That's
Go on.
What are you talking about?
I think he's cutting off. But Romario, I think.
What do you mean? What do you mean that it's wrong?
He's cutting off, I think.
Yeah.
It's probably on the way back to Manchester. But
Go
Romario,
ahead.
like you're saying about the league thing, I don't think it's even about Arsenal. I think City cannot play like this on the league because we're not going to play Trafford. We're going to play Donnarumma. And
see, I'm sorry, Mo, I have a problem with that, man.
Go on, Martin.
Go ahead, Martin. You're cutting out. That's a problem. Martin, you're cutting out.
Martin's got bad signal on the M40, isn't he? He's going back up north and the signal's letting him down.
Go ahead.
Spartacus,
Okay.
go.
But that's the thing. Like you're mentioning Mo as well. You didn't make Bernardo and Rodri's life harder. I think that's a lot to do with Trafford because in the beginning of the game, you guys were making the life hard for them. They weren't being able to get on the ball consistently and everything. But that was until Trafford was starting to find the passes into the wingers and the midfielders ahead of the press. And this forced Arsenal to go a little bit deeper and to stay a little bit back. And that created then the space for Rodri and Bernardo to get on the ball. And when they do get on the ball, you're able to progress through the thirds. When you play with Donnarumma now, you're not able to find those passes into the wingers and midfielders ahead of the press. So you don't force them to be a couple of steps back. And this doesn't allow you to play the ball to those key players in the midfield to allow to transition into those second and third phases of the game.
Yeah, but also in the same time, I think the tactical genius by Pep by pushing Nico O'Reilly higher on the pitch allowed Ake to have the ball to the left. Arsenal didn't know how to mark Nico O'Reilly the whole game. They didn't know how to deal with Nico O'Reilly.
The fullback, the left-hand side, was the whole season going up the field and staying in those half spaces.
He was inside the pitch, yeah, and I'm like, I thought Mikel Arteta had no answer for that. Cherki had a lot of time on the ball in the second half. To be honest with you, I think that today showed the difference in class between Mikel Arteta and Pep in terms of like a one game off, right? When things are not going your way. Because Pep Guardiola in the first half, things were not going City's way, right? Things were not going City's way. But you come out of the second half dominant like this, changing things up, being pressing City, pressing Arsenal and doing this. I genuinely believe that Pep, you know what I mean, showed Arteta levels today in terms of the one game.
Showed who's the master and who's the apprentice.
Yes.
And why so?
I think the biggest difference wasn't even that we were pressing them as much. I think it was more that we were allowing them to have the possession with the goalkeeper and just stay that a bit deeper. And we were expecting them to just launch the ball up the field and then we win the second balls because we have more players in those areas.
All the City fans are showing up to the stream. Ariz, because Ariz is saying Arteta would have more success man marking Rodri to take him out of the game. The dude really came to play. I cannot emphasize how much he wanted it. Rodri looked like he wanted to win this. Bro, he was moving everywhere on the pitch. Even that.
Him and Bernardo both.
Oh, yeah, Bernardo wanted to win.
Who's the Ballon d'Or winner and who's a wannabe Ballon d'Or winner today?
I can't argue with this, to be honest with you. I can't argue with you. Rodri today showed levels. Declan Rice was hiding. And Romario, you cannot argue with this. Zubamendi and Declan Rice completely were hiding today. They got dominated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bad, mate. I
but
don't
also,
even know what to say.
I think what didn't help, I'm going to tell you guys before Kel comes in, what didn't help Arsenal in the game. City wingers and having Cherki, having Doku, having Semenyo, they are so scary one-on-one and they are so good in their first touch that they are always facing the pitch. So that allowed City to go to the wingers. And I think that is what pushed Arsenal back. Arsenal don't have these kind of players. With all due respect, Trossard didn't do anything. I thought Saka didn't do anything after the first 10, 15 minutes. He won a couple of free kicks. Declan Rice didn't deliver well. Arsenal needed a superstar today. Someone that is a difference maker. I think Cherki was a difference maker for City today. Havertz isn't a difference maker. I thought Eucharist isn't a difference maker. Saka today was average. He just won the free kicks, which is fine. But after this, he disappeared. And I think that's what I keep saying for Arsenal. You need a superstar. You need someone that will make the difference. You need a Harry Kane. You need a Dembele up top.
Him. They need a him. They don't have him.
Yes, I agree.
Rodri was him today. Nico O'Reilly was him today. Bernardo Silva, who I've been shitting on all season,
was him today.
Was him. Rayan Cherki was him. I know Spartacus disagrees with me, but I thought.
But I agree that Arsenal didn't have a him today. Without a shadow of a Romario, it's a team playing, but when you needed someone to step up by themselves, that is where the clutch players for Arsenal do.
No,
I got that guy.
I make kids right.
You have been critical about this whole season, by the way. You have been always saying that.
I've been saying, Mo, we haven't got a star, someone who can just take the game. Even Cherki today, there was moments that I know everyone's bantering about Cherki doing keepy uppies, but he was just taking the sting out of the game. There was moments when Cherki was.
Pep hated it.
He was Pep wasn't loving it, but I'm looking at it, and Cherki was just standing on the ball, and Arsenal players were like, "There's no point in me closing him down because I'm not going to get it off him." Bernardo Silva was great. He was turning up everywhere. Rodri.
Kelly's there.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I made it to my destination.
Stinky, but I know it's stinky by Arsenal, but that's the difference between the two teams today is individual quality. Individual quality made a big difference today.
But
big
difference. I guess my question for Romario and big up to you, man, because you on here with a whole bunch of City fans. You showed up. You didn't run away
my
from
camera's dead up.
Where's Dio?
Where's
Dio?
Yeah, exactly. But what I do have to
Dio
ask the
told me
when we talk about them not having that guy and that player and him, I'm Arsenal fans have told me forever that Saka is that guy. Saka is
And
that
Declan
dude.
Rice. They
So,
said Declan Rice was that guy.
now it's Declan Rice going to win the
Player of the year.
supposedly going to win Ballon d'Or, but we'll see, or Player of the Year, whatever. But I guess I mean, to me, Saka was supposed to be that guy for them. So what happened to him?
Yeah, but Saka's
He
looking.
got injured. That's what happened to him. He
I
got
don't think
injured.
he's-
He's not the
Nico.
same player.
No, but he just
I'm sorry.
doesn't look the same. He looks like, I think that hamstring injury it kills his confidence. I don't think he's the same. I don't think he's as quick. He was never rapid, but he could get past a man. I don't think he got past Nico O'Reilly more than once today. I think O'Reilly was dominating him. So Saka's not that guy. Eze has sort of started to turn up. He gets injured, but it happens. Every team's got injuries. I don't know what Trossard's doing. I said we should have sold him in the summer. He had a few decent games this season. He's been missing since January, December. We just haven't got that team, and Gyökeres needs too much support at this level. Havertz, I don't think's fit, misses that chance. And Rice, Rice should do better. Rice has got to turn up and do more. But as Mo said, I do think Kepa gave City that sort of feeling of they're going to win. I think City were the better team in the second half, but we were okay in defence. We were sort of managing. That mistake from Kepa kills you, because now you have to come out and the whole game plan changes. But as long as we rely on defending...
Should he have been on the pitch? Should he have been on the pitch?
Listen.
Yeah, he already.
Who? Kepa? Of course, that's not a red card. Come on. Don't be sad.
You talking about that?
Hang on a minute, hang on a minute.
In the beginning.
I didn't realise.
Mate.
Sorry,
Cut
as
out
the
here.
last man, I didn't realise you could hug your opponent to stop it going through.
Mate, bro, you won the game. Why do you need red cards? Come on, man. You won the game.
Yeah, we
I
don't
think
need
red
red
doesn't
cards.
He's
matter.
not
Come
going
on.
to goal.
I just-
He's not facing the goal. I think that's
It's not
the
a red
key
card. It's
thing
never
there.
a red card. He's going so far away. Ben
Yeah,
White.
we
Well, and then
that's
there's two
Oh.
defenders covering.
Yeah, there's defenders covering. But
I
listen,
think not giving the advantage for him to pass the ball to Haaland is criminal, but I don't think that's a red card either. So
yeah,
I don't think that's a red card. I think it's
it's
two
not a
side.
red. But Mo, do
It's
you know
two
what it is?
side.
It is like City. It's like City relying on Foden. The way we're relying on Saka at the minute, you can tell Foden's lacking confidence. Even when he come on, I thought he looked like he lost a bit of weight. I was actually worried when Foden come on. I thought he don't look happy.
I
But
think he's sick. He looks actually like ill.
yeah, I'm actually worried.
There's
Like, I
something
hope
going
he's
on
all
with
right.
him health wise. Like he looks gaunt.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I wouldn't
sure what's
speculate on
going
that, but
there.
still, I get your
But
point.
yeah, but my point is, it's similar
But-
in terms of
But Pep's
you can tell
finished.
Foden is struggling with confidence, so Pep's protecting him. Pep's taking him out of the limelight. He's obviously looking after him. Saka, new deal. We're in all these competitions running. He's about to go away with England for international break. I think Saka, there's clearly a good player in there. We're not giving up on him, but it's a concern. Saka's form's definitely a concern. I don't know, man. As long as we win the league, we can look at all of this in the summer. We just need that league title, man. Just get me my league and we can move.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
Martin was at
great.
Wembley. He's so happy.
I'm glad the
You know,
trip was
I'm-
worth it. That's a long trip. I hear it.
Right.
But listen,
He's driving home right now.
listen, I did a video, Mum, and I'm going to release it on Twitter later. I even vented that much. I said, and Kel, this is not directed at you before you jump, because I know you will now. I said, where's all the Pep haters? Where's all the haters that have told me Pep's finished? Not going to do anything. Where are they all? Even in our own fan base, there's been a lot of that going on. A lot of that. And we stood up. We counted at Etihad South. And the boys came through. And to my point earlier, the reason why I think Arsenal got a poor attitude, look, you said something about it's the league or the Champions League. That's part of the issue for me. Because
I got
Arsenal,
told that today by Arsenal people that I know.
I'm sorry, it's this thing of trophy's a trophy. You get used to winning. It becomes a drug. It becomes something that you need. And that, I don't care if it's the League Cup, the FA Cup. When Liverpool were not winning the leagues, they were still picking up trophies. And that's why Liverpool were always dangerous. You've got to get used to that winning feeling. If you just put all your eggs in one basket, It's a dangerous game for me.
Yeah, but do you know what it is?
Very
The only
dangerous
reason
game.
why I disagree with that, bro, is because if we only win the Carabao or FA Cup, everyone's just going to say, "Oh, there's only cups. You're just a cup team."
But you've not
The
won
reason
anything
why-
in 6 years.
Yeah,
You
I
haven't
hear
even.
that.
This
But
is your
Arsenal,
first final
no, but
with that
it's
team.
different. It's different. It's all
Let
context.
him respond then. Don't know all we're a crowd in the Arsenal.
No, it's good. We can handle it, man. We deserve this. I deserve it. Right? I deserve this battering. At the end of the day, Arsenal, we haven't won the league in 22 years. And this isn't a dig, but it sort of is. Man City are coming from a different position. You've sort of built your history over the last 10 to 15 years. So you guys almost need to win all these trophies to sort of build up that legacy. And whereas we've done this, we've won the cups, we've won the small cups, we've won leagues, we've won 13. It's time for the 14th league title. It's been 22 years. I'm 27. Most of my life's been nothing but FA Cups. So forgive us for wanting something bigger. That's all it is. It's not arrogance. It's not neglecting other trophies.
He's
It's
saying bigger fish to
Arsenal
fry.
Football
Bigger
Club.
fish, yeah.
Yeah, but there is bigger fish to fry. There is. A Carabao Cup doesn't.
But you
define
have
your
two.
season.
Yeah, but-
Your two
But hold
But hold
trophies.
on, can I respond to this just quickly, Martin? But this game, because of the circumstances of the international break, and because there is a massive break and there is an FA Cup coming, this shouldn't have gone this way. You know, I
agree.
understand if there was a game. I understand if there was a game coming and you're focused in the next game. But you got nothing to. These players had time to think about this game. They got nothing to think about for the next month or so. So for me, this is a fumble, a massive fumble by the
Yeah, we
players and
did.
Mikel Arteta. You know what I mean? Like, I understand that you have no game coming up.
No, Mo, I
There's no
agree.
game.
I agree, bro. But all I'm saying is this doesn't define our season. And anyone that says it does is just like,
I don't think it does, but I think
it
it
does-
defines City season, as Martin said. They wanted the trophy. They didn't want to go trophyless. And I think that is why I thought there was more pressure on City to win it. And they delivered under pressure.
But
Pep
I
Guardiola today
respect what-
responded.
I respect what Martin's saying. You need to get used to that winning feeling. I totally agree with what you're saying. But similar to Man United have won the FA Cup. They've won Europa Leagues. They've done that, and it's led to nothing. They've done that all in the last 10 years. And Man United fans will tell you that's not good enough. Well, I'm not putting us on the same level as Man United, but it's similar in terms of these are fan bases and clubs that have won the Premier League. They've won these trophies. And when you go so long without it, you crave it. It's just as simple as that. And winning the league platforms gives you the platform to go on bigger. We all saw what Liverpool done in the summer last year, signing Ekatike, Verts, Frimpong, and Isak. It hasn't gone to plan, but that's what a league title can do. It can platform you. Sort of why City have done so well, because every time they've won a league title, players like Ruben Diaz want to join, Bernardo Silva want to join, Guehi, Semenyo, Grealish who join. There's so many top players you've signed because you've been league champions. So that's why winning an FA Cup or Carabao Cup is nice. It's great. But ultimately, if you're not winning the biggest prizes in football, the biggest and best players don't want to come. You don't get that true winning feeling. Part of why Pep is seen as a bit of a superhero is because he wins league titles like it's easy. That's why Pep can even get compared to Sir Alex. So ultimately, I hear what you're saying. We do need to just win things. But when you cut the crap and just look at it at the end of the season, if Arsenal haven't got the Premier League or Champions League, all of you lot are going to clown me here anyway and say we don't win anything serious. So you can't win today. You can't win. If we win, it's only the Carabao Cup. You lose, our Arsenal not really winners. So you can't win. But
20 saying might have
Getting
been
something
better
there.
off. 20 saying might have been better if Kepa got a red, to be honest, because of that mistake.
I don't know.
Pick up
Raya's
20 Hardaway. I like that name.
Raya's made some bozos too this season, so don't forget that.
Is this game?
I don't even know if because Kepa is bigger than Raya. Does Raya even get to that ball? Does it just end up a goal on the back post anyway?
Raya wouldn't have been in the
Maybe.
near post like this.
Okay, so you're saying he would have been better positioned, so he wouldn't have even...
Raya would have been better positioned. Kepa was so eager to come to the near post.
All right, fair
But does
enough.
this one game define Pep's season? Like, there's a lot of people saying that people need to move on from Pep, blah, blah, blah. Does this one game say that Pep got it. Pep is great. Pep is fantastic this season. Does this one game excuse or negate all what happened during the season with the Real Madrid and what happened in the league and all the Spurs and the Chelsea game? I'm not going to let Martin respond. I want the other people that have criticized Pep respond. Like Kelk.
I mean, I think it's just part of the up and down season. Pep has gotten a lot wrong, and I don't think this completely negates it. But I'm just happy to win the trophy. Like, we're coming out of this with something. But I'm still stung by that Real Madrid game, and how that followed with that West Ham game. Because if we had won that West Ham game, the league looks a lot different, and it's frustrating. But I guess it's part of the process.
What about you, Tariq?
And for the record, I have never said Pep out. I have questioned him a lot this season, but I've never definitely said.
But it wasn't about the league.
You never said those words.
Exactly.
I
haven't decided yet. Yeah, because I was like, I'm going to wait till the end of the season to see if I think that he's got.
But you implied it without it. You implied that you were like, you got to move on from Pep.
Like I said, I've questioned a lot of what he's done this season, but I've never explicitly come to a decision if I actually want him to. I've never been like Pep out. Like never actually said that. Because I don't have the answer. I don't know. I don't know how I feel right now. I'm going to wait and I'm going to look at the season from top to bottom once it's finished. It's not over yet, and then I will.
And I think that's the key. I think that's the key because you talked about is this defining for Pep? No. If you ask Pep, he'll tell you that this season isn't over. He's not probably given up on the league yet until it's mathematically impossible. He still thinks that the league is a possibility. And that's why I said earlier that, it's probably 95% gone, but there's still that small percentage that, we can figure this out. So no, I don't think this defines Pep's season. I think to her point, there's been some ups, there's been some downs. There effectively are growing pains, and this team is growing. These players are young and they're growing. And, at the beginning of the season, there were a lot of people who probably didn't even think we would be second. They had Liverpool and then Arsenal and then us, maybe third or fourth, whatever. So in Chelsea. So I think that this does not change whatever has happened to this point, but it gives us a platform to kick forward on, whether that be the rest of this season, but definitely into next season. I think we're in a much better position. And part of it is the mentality, because these players, to whoever said it earlier, these players have now know what it feels like to win at City, know what it feels like to lift a trophy, to know what it feels like to play in games that have, big, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot riding on these matches. You're not just playing meaningless matches that don't have anything riding on them. These are the biggest matches and the biggest moments, and players have had to step up. And I think it will position us well going forward into the future. So whether we win anything else or not, of course we want to win more. We got the FA Cup coming. We want to win some more, but this doesn't change anything, in my opinion, about where Pep is and who Pep is, and whatever. So
what about the
we have a really
Donnarumma?
good chance of that FA Cup. Spartacus might get a big vindication if we win the FA Cup with a certain
what about the Donnarumma and James Trafford thing? Would you?
You're gonna let Spartacus go for about 30 minutes if you have that conversation.
I have this conversation with him almost every day.
Minutes to say anything. I think it's very clear to see that Trafford is as good shot stopping it as Donnarumma, and in pretty much everything else he's better.
I didn't feel as nervous today on the corners. I'm gonna flat out say that. I did not feel as nervous about Arsenal's corners. I mean, I still respect their corners. They're the best corner takers in the league by far. But I just had confidence in James Trafford because he showed it to me in games that he's played, and also Arsenal didn't bother to press him at all, and I think that made a big difference.
Yeah, the best compliment I can give is I didn't notice Trafford except for when he made them 3 saves. It's the best compliment, and all you could notice from Arsenal was Kepa. It's the best compliment you can give a keeper. When you don't see them or notice who's in goal, it's probably a good thing. Keepers aren't really supposed to stand out that much, but when they do, it's either for a bad reason or you're under pressure. I think Trafford was good today. I think he was. He helped them a lot.
He's been good this whole cup run. He was outstanding against Newcastle.
He's a wonderful, and again, it's unfair to him because we did go get Donnarumma. But if he leaves, I'm going to hate that. And part of me,
think he'll leave. I don't think he'll leave.
Part of me, Mo, to answer your question directly, there is a part of me that would rather Donnarumma leave than to have Trafford leave, because again, and Donnarumma's not an old keeper, so it sounds crazy to say that, but I just see Trafford's ceiling being so high. And I want to. I don't want to see him go and develop and mature someplace else, and I have to watch him be one of the world's best keepers for the next 8 to 10 years. I don't want to have to do that. Just like I don't like watching Julian Alvarez go score a bunch of goals for, when you see or Cole Palmer dominating for Chelsea. Those things hurt.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah. I want to just before the next 10 minutes, I want to just talk to, because we have Romario here for the next 10 minutes, about Arsenal players, and everyone can. Do Arsenal need an overhaul in the attacking side? Is Saka good? If Arsenal go and win the league, right? Is Gyökeres good enough? Is Saka good enough? Or is it Arteta winning the league despite have a weak attack? Because I'm watching today, I'm like, there's no spark in that attack. Is it Trossard, Martinelli, Saka, Madueke, Gyökeres, Havertz? Still, there's no spark in that attack. Do Arsenal need an overhaul in that attacking side?
I think what Arsenal needs to do is drop, I will say, Declan Rice over Zubimendi, because I think Zubimendi is better with his back to goal, but at least one of those two to play Odegaard and Eze together. This will give them a lot more creativity from the center, because you can have that creativity from wide mainly, because it's what City's been doing. When you have attacking fullbacks like Nunes and like Nohi or Nico O'Reilly, who are very good on ball and can box crash and have that ability to just be in those areas. When you have essentially a backline of 4 centre backs, you can't really afford to.
They didn't have. Ben White is a very offensive fullback. Ben White is a very offensive fullback. Very offensive fullback.
The moment he went to Arsenal as a centre back.
Yeah, but he's a very offensive fullback.
Timber is not, though.
Timber isn't, but Ben White is a very offensive fullback.
Mo, I think Ben White
is not.
Hold on, let Romario speak.
Yeah. I don't think Ben White is the same. I know what you're saying, Sparta, because he was signed as a centre back, but he has been a fullback for us for the best part of 3 or 4 seasons. I just don't think he's physically the same. Ben White has sort of suffered a similar thing to Havertz and Saka, where they played so many games and through injury so many times. They're crooked, man. We haven't seen a lot of Ben White. The only reason Ben White plays today is because Timber's injured. He's probably not even fit enough to play Ben White. And I actually think when you play someone like Ben White, you force the defense to sit a little bit deeper, because you can't really trust him running back on the counter attack against like Sudoku and Semenyo. But when you talk about a revamp in attack, I'm looking out there in the world, what attackers are out there for us to sign that we can honestly replace a lot of our attackers with? I think Trossard and Martinelli you can upgrade on relatively easily, but there's not exactly a guarantee out there that you can get. I think Kvaratskhelia is probably one.
So Elise that is linked to Liverpool. So why not you go for Elise?
No, Elise is not living.
Why don't you go?
I don't think Elise is leaving, but Nico Paz will stay at Real Madrid.
But you gotta try. You gotta try at least. You have to try.
You do, Mo. But
are you a big club? Test the waters.
Yeah, test the waters.
I got a very good news, Mo. Here, I think.
I'm hearing that the rumors is he wants to leave. He wants to come back to England. Arsenal, if Liverpool are going to be in the signing of Olise, why not Arsenal?
Yeah, if Olise is leaving Bayern Munich, Mo, then of course we should be all over that signing. Olise should be. Look, there's players out there, and Kelks, you make a good point. If you're a big club, go and show you're a big club. Put the money on the table and get them. I think we can make more of Ethan Nwaneri when he comes back. I think Max Dowman should be platformed a bit more. I know he's only 16.
I disagree with these names. Arsenal need a bigger name. You'll need your Vinny. You will need your Mbappe. You will need your Kane. You will need these guys. And I'm not saying that, guys. I'm not saying that these players, guys. I'm not saying that these players will succeed at Arsenal. But I'm saying they need that name. They need their own Ousmane Dembele. They need their own guy to carry that attack.
The person that's going to have that
impact.
They
don't have that guy. And it was supposed to. By the way, it was supposed to be Saka. Listen, I'm going to sit here and be. Since he got injured last season, he came back. He hasn't been the same guy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to tell you something. You know what? Foden, after that PFA Player of the Season, Foden, since then, he has been declining. City didn't sleep on it. They didn't just give him time. They went on and bought Cherki. They went on and bought Semenyo. They're going to, they aren't putting all their eggs in the Foden basket. Pep Guardiola is like, no, we aren't. If you are not performing, We're gonna get some
you make
other
a good
guys to
point.
perform. You know what I mean? You cannot, because you, and by the way, Foden is on 220k, 250k, something like that. If Arsenal are on to continue this dominance part or continue to be top like this, close to the top, you cannot just say, yeah, Saka's been good for 2 seasons ago. Because you know what Arsenal did? Arsenal did this with Martinelli. In the first season, Arsenal challenge, Arsenal had a Martinelli with having 22 GA. And until this moment, Arteta is still loyal to Martinelli. He doesn't want to get a left winger starter. He doesn't want to. He did in the same with Odegaard as well. If Odegaard wasn't injured, I promise you, Odegaard would have kept playing and Eze would have been on the bench, right? I think you can have Saka, right? But if Saka's out of form, so is Foden. Get him off. Get a new winger to challenge the guy. And it's not, with all due respect, and it's not Noni Madueke.
It's not Madueke. It's not.
It is not Madueke.
He costs
It is
a lot
not
of
Noni
money, too.
Madueke.
I
But
keep
can you
hearing
guys
this
name me-
at our own fan base, right? Like, get this world class right winger. Who's there? Olise is not living by it. You
That's
cannot.
basically
Rodrigo is not a right winger.
Yeah,
Kvaratskhelia
mate, I don't
is
think
not
the
living
players are
by
there,
it.
Rodrigo's
man.
injured,
You
too.
have to get the next up and coming guy. You have to get the next.
You go and spend big money for Desiree Doué. You go and spend big money for Kvaratskhelia. You go and offer PSG a lot of money.
I would spend a lot
You
of money
go
on
and
Yildiz.
guys,
Yildiz is a very
you go
good
and
player.
test the waters. You go if you are Arsenal. You go and test the waters. You go and say, I want your player. How much? 100 mil? Here you go. 100. You go and get your superstar. With all due respect, the Premier League has its own shine. Playing in League A is good, but you get judged on
Accolades.
12 to 15. You get judged on 10, 12 games a season in the Champions League. No one is looking at League A. With all due respect, if Arsenal win the league this season, you go and test the water with the big players. You go and get your own big players. This is my opinion.
Nah, Mo, listen, Doué came off the bench for PSG against Chelsea. He's not a guaranteed starter probably for PSG. I agree. If I'm going to get a player, it's Kvaratskhelia or Doué. But when you're talking about guarantees, outside of those 2 players, I'm struggling to think
There
of
are no
like
guarantees in
realistic
any
players.
player.
Nowhere.
It-
Yeah. Yildiz is a good
Romario,
option.
Romario, I promise you, even Ulisi isn't guaranteed to be Salah
Yeah,
level
no,
in
I
the
know,
Premier
but
League.
my point is, you're
But you
saying
do your job. Sorry. You do your job. I was going to say, what Arsenal should do, you do your job. You go and get the players for the manager, and then you see it from there. You don't sit and say, well, there is no player that is guaranteed. No player. Isak is not a guaranteed for Liverpool, but Liverpool did their job. No one is a guaranteed player. No one is.
Yeah, but
Like, Nouri isn't a guaranteed as a left back to work for City.
No.
But City did
he's
their
been so
job
good
to go and get. But my point is, you go and as a club, I always maintain this. As a club, if it's my club, I ask my club to go and do your job. Go and sign the superstar. If it doesn't work, now we talk. But don't sit and say, well, I'm not going to do it because it's exactly, I'm not going to join the race, right? Because I'm not sure if I'm going to win or not. Well, you're never going to know unless you join the race. You're never going to know
There isn't a race
unless you join the race.
But there is
There is a
race.
race.
And that's the
There is a
point.
race. There is a race.
These players-
Desiree Doué, there is Kvaratskhelia, there is Ulise.
Kvaratskhelia is on 350k a week. It's not. You're gonna have
Arsenal
to offer
are a
Noble
very rich club. They
400K.
can afford to pay that wage.
No, we
I'm
don't.
not
That's
saying
well,
they're
that's
right
what-
poor.
that's what Saka's
They
on,
got
right?
that oil money from Emirates and they got that Walmart money from Stan Kroenke's.
No,
money.
we don't. Yeah, but
They've
we
got
don't
plenty
use.
of money.
Yeah, but Kebs, we don't pay those wages. We never pay big Saka's
But you
our
gotta
only
pay
player
that
on
wage.
300 grand.
then you're not going to
Yes,
get the
you-
player.
Yeah, but you lot are right. But we don't, and I don't want to do it. But we haven't got 115 charges standing over us. We don't operate like that. Look at Chelsea. Chelsea just got fined, and this is the funny thing with football is that a lot of fans are like just spend the money. But when you're operating sustainably and as these clubs should operate, you can't always just go out and have 3-4 players on that money. Haaland's on like 600-700.
Boring.
It don't even add up.
Boring.
But this is what I mean. It's just it is boring because it's your club, so of course you don't care. But we're not
No,
just out here
because you don't
giving
know
away
what you're talking
big
about.
contracts.
When it comes to
Yeah, but
115
what sort
charges,
of
you don't
argument
know what
is
you're
that?
talking
That doesn't make. But that doesn't make sense.
Because
I've just
City-
given you two
Because City are
examples.
self-sustainable. City
Oh
are
yeah,
self-sustainable.
you are.
I don't
Yeah,
want to
there
go
you
into
go,
the
mate.
When you
charges
win
today,
the
guys.
Champions League,
Guys,
you get like
guys,
100
everyone.
million in prize money,
I
and
don't
that
wanna
helps
go
you
into
pay
the
for your
charges today.
wages. When you win the Premier
Kvaratskhelia-
League, 100 million
guys,
plus. So
Guys,
when you win
Kvaratskhelia
trophies,
isn't
you
even
can
on
pay higher wages.
And there's
300k.
a bonus in there as well, Coke. So you got to pay.
Is
A lot of
Kvaratskhelia
that
isn't
bonus.
even on
You're fine.
300k a week, right?
He is
Desiree
on
Doué isn't
300.
on that.
What's Havertz on? 265. Gabriel Jesus.
He's on
is probably
300.
quite-
He's in 300 euros. Not
You're
even
giving that money
300
to
k a
Kai
week.
Havertz and not to a superstar. Got it.
Sorry,
I think Arsenal need
Mo,
to
just while I've got a signal.
I don't want to go into
Can
the
I just-
charges.
No, I don't want to do the charges. I want to ask
Martin's
a
the
question.
expert, so he can tell everybody the truth.
Go ahead.
Because
Go ahead.
this is where I get very confused. And I just want to bring it back to City for one sec while I've got signal before I lose signal again. All this melting down by people over Pep, because I'm not sure about Pep, everything else, was at the start of the season, I got told by a lot of City fans it wasn't about the title, it wasn't about the UCL, it was about transition. And I'm building on last season. So winning a League Cup and coming second and bringing in the new players is exactly what everyone asked for. And because they haven't won the title, they're not sure about Pep. So what does a new manager bring other than the title? When I'm told it's not about the title.
Yeah, I'm not
This
sure
is where
City
I'm
fans can answer
confused.
this.
I am totally confused on this because in one breath I'm told it's not about the title and it's not about the Champions League, but it is really because we're second and we won a cup.
Yeah,
So it
like I
has
said
to be
earlier.
about the title and the Champions League.
Because
like I
Pep
said
Guardiola
earlier,
is
it's about the
judged
whole
on the
season
Premier
for me.
League. Pep Guardiola is judged on the Premier League, and he's judged on winning the Champions League.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think a one-off game is really going to change much because there's been a lot of questionable tactics. I think he did find a really good solution earlier in the season, and then he went away from it. And for me, I'm more into the rebuild. I want to see the new players more. So that's probably
Martin is not wrong. There has been a lot of conversation about Pep. And again, this isn't the right forum to have this because this Judge Mo doesn't care about City and whatever. And most of these people in the chat probably don't care about City either. However,
I promise you today we have. I promise you we have more City.
But hold on, let me finish my. Let me make my statement though. But I agree with the fact that, or let me say, I disagree with Kells to say, well, it's just a one-off game. It doesn't really change anything. There was a lot of conversation about going trophyless. This one-off game, you can say it's a one-off game, but it comes with the trophy on the end of it. And so that changes a lot about the way that this season goes. So I don't think it's fair to just say, well, it's just a one-off game. No, this was a game for a trophy, and we beat the team that's ahead of us in the league. And again, I will say that the league is not done. It is not finished yet. There is still some twists and turns to come. Now, maybe it still ends up the way that it sits right now. I'm not suggesting that it won't, but I'm just saying that this season, yeah, this win helps to change the way that this season looks and feels for me, at least, as a City fan.
Oh, thank you. I'll be done in a sec. Cool. All right, just got a drink.
100%.
Yeah. Just before
Did you bring enough to share? That's what they used to always say in school.
Oh, do you know what it is though? The reason why
No, this is for me.
the reason why City, you've gotten to the point where League Cups and FA Cups aren't going to satisfy your fan base because you're used to the big ones. You've got the Champions League as well.
Sure.
There's only so
I'm
long
fucking
City
excited
fans.
for this little League Cup. I'm telling you that. I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
I respect that. But I don't know, man. I just look at like it was tongue in cheek mentioning the 115 Chargers. City have won the league. They've been the best team in the last 10 years. But look, this is why this is why we want the league. Today's bad. Big up City fans. I'm glad you lot are enjoying it. You deserved it. We were rubbish. You lot deserved to win today. But when we get our hands on that league title, we can talk to you lot a little bit differently.
Say
Arteta's
if.
name has a
Say
different.
if.
No, it's when.
You got
It's
to add
when.
if to the
So,
win. If and when. If
Mo
and
knows
when.
what I'm about, Tarek. We're not.
I'm
we're
just
not
saying.
sitting on the
But
fence here.
listen,
I'm
I
telling
like you a lot.
We're winning the league.
I enjoyed this
We're
what we
winning.
do on here with Mo,
I
right?
enjoy
And
it
I don't
too,
want you
bro.
to be in this
I do.
position again next, in a couple more weeks. I want you to say if and when, so that way if you don't win it, it doesn't feel bad.
But Tariq, it's too late now because I've said it, bro, and I'm sorry. I know you don't want me to go out bad like this, but listen, if these
I had to
boys
sit here
don't
and
win
hold it from all these people. That's just, it's kind of unfair
yeah,
to you,
but
man.
I made the strong stuff, man. I honed my
You did.
meeting
I
today.
tried to tell you to back it off just a little bit. You wouldn't go for it.
I know, bro, because I'm confident in these boys. They didn't show me what I know they're capable of today, but league title, go and shut everyone up. Martin knows. He's saying that Arsenal, like he's questioning whether we're pretenders or not. And I get it. A lot of the people in the comments are questioning us. We deserve it. We got to go and do it now. And I think we will. I don't think you lot have quite got it in the league either.
If we beat you at the Etihad, does that change how you feel?
It depends, because I think we have Bournemouth before we play you, if I'm not mistaken, and you've got a game before us as well. I might have got that wrong, but I think there's one more game before that. It depends, man. I think if we win that game before we play you, then I don't see why not. But look, if you beat us, it's a problem. And obviously you've got a game in hand with Crystal Palace.
The game in hand is distorting this tremendously.
Yeah, the game in hand.
It's like it's 9 points, but it could only be 6. And then
it could be
head-to-head, it could be 3 with the head-to-head win and the game in hand win.
Could be 3 points.
Ifs. Those are still big ifs.
And that's the only reason why I said it's 90 to 95% certain that you're going to win it, but there is still a chance.
Yeah,
and so if we beat you at the Etihad, and of course we got to win our other games up until that point, but if we beat you at the Etihad, then I think that really. That will buckle some knees on your side.
My brother Mo has always been reassuring me, that we're the best team this season. Arsenal are the team, and today, Mo, you haven't reassured me once. So I'm a little bit concerned that maybe our crown is slipping before we've got it. Maybe.
No, I don't think.
Before you have it. Wow.
No, he's a plastic Arsenal fan. Plastic Arsenal fan.
No, I think it's our year. I think it's our year.
Just to respond to this, I actually think that this game has zero effect on Arsenal in the league. And the reason why I'm saying this, because if Arsenal had to play, for example, if Arsenal next Saturday have to play Bournemouth at home at 12:30 kickoff, I would say that this Arsenal going to be shook. But the facts are, 2 weeks of international break is going to help Arsenal. Then the comeback is against a weaker team in Southampton. And I think if Arsenal win that game, they will forget about the cup and they will think about the league. And I think that plays in Arsenal's hand, right?
Yeah.
And this is why I think that this game doesn't affect Arsenal. However, there is a world where the gap is shorter, but also there is a world where City go to Chelsea and actually drop points and Arsenal win at home against Bournemouth. We know that Chelsea need to win games, and the difference then is 11 to 12 points. At that time, the game in hand doesn't matter and the game in Etihad doesn't matter because there's only be 6 games left. And at that time, I think City will give up on the league at that time. Pep Guardiola will actually be more focused on other
in
things.
In that scenario, we could win the league at the Etihad. If we beat them in that scenario, we'd win the league.
I don't think Pep will allow that. I don't think Pep will do everything in his hands not to allow you to do this. Right?
So I don't know if you'll actually win the league as far as
the game in hand.
If you lose,
but
if you lose to Chelsea,
but just to continue, and that is why I'm still. If you're asking me, looking from outside, I think the fact that there's an international break makes this game, number one, it's terrible. It's a terrible feeling for Mikel Arteta because you had a chance to go into an international break with Rice not going to the national team, with Saka not going to the national team, where you can rest them, you can celebrate, you can have a good time. But in the same time, you'll have time to think about the coming games. And with all due respect, Arsenal don't play Man City every game in the league. But also play weaker team. Nobody's going to press Arsenal like this, right, in the league. So I think that Romario is right, that the league is a different story here. It's completely different story.
But Mo, the Crystal Palace game.
I think this is disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree. It's done.
I think it's done.
But the one thing I will say,
Martin, just give me a second. I think nothing is done. Inter, we are 6 points out of Milan. The league is not done. The league is not done until you do it. I've seen multiple. Alex Ferguson bottled the league with 6 points ahead with 5 games left, right?
It happens before. If Alex Ferguson did, and you're not even saying it's remotely possible that Arteta could?
It's 90% or 95%. It is in Arsenal's hand, and Arsenal will win the league, right?
We could. I just think we need 4 wins.
Alex Ferguson would bottle it though.
Yeah, no, we could. We could, but I just don't think we will. I just don't think we will. I think we need 4 wins, and I think we get them. We got Bournemouth.
But I'm going to tell you what is going to affect Arsenal, guys. This will affect Arsenal in the Champions League.
Yeah,
this game will affect Arsenal in the Champions League because teams looking from outside, teams will look from outside and say, this team that looks like the best in Europe lost from the team that got humbled by a weaker Real Madrid team 5-1 and got humbled and got It's not only humbled by a corner kick and not by penalties. Arsenal were dominated today. Arsenal was schooled, especially in the second half, by Man City. So teams in the Champions League will lose that respect for Arsenal. Can Arsenal capitalize? Yes. But I think this will absolutely put a dent in the Arsenal Champions League hopes.
I don't think sides like PSG and Barcelona was fearing Arsenal, to be honest.
Barcelona would definitely fear in Arsenal.
No, they're not going to change the way they play for
Pedri's
Arsenal.
not fearing that team.
Barcelona doesn't change the way they play.
I don't think they fear us, but they respect us. You can't forget what we done to Real Madrid last year. Like we're not. Listen, and this is the thing with Man City fans. This is why I'm talking how I am, because you beat us today, and now you're trying to little brother us again. And I hear it, but we're not your little brother.
What I mean.
It's just not. And this is why we need the league title. Because when I hear City fans talk about us like this, it just sickens me. Like you got slapped by. No, but Spartacus, you're saying that the teams didn't fear us, but we're respected in Europe. We are. And I know what you mean. Barcelona don't change how they play for anyone. I get that. But what Mo's saying is teams will look at us as now beatable. You've got to remember,
I can get at this team. Yes, exactly.
We haven't lost a game in the Champions League. We won every game in the league. We were unbeaten against Leverkusen. What I think Mo's saying is it takes the shine off Arsenal.
Yes, it does. 100% it does take the shine of Arsenal.
But Arsenal, I think we were favourites to win it, or Bayern were favourite and we were second favourite. Like, you can't forget what this Arsenal team, how it's perceived. It's perceived as a hard team to beat.
For me, when you fear a team, you change the way you play to adapt to that team.
City have done that this year.
Change.
Yeah, but Barcelona don't change for anyone. Barcelona don't change for anyone.
But this is I'm not saying this isn't something that I'm saying that Arsenal is this shit team or terrible team. You guys are a very good side. But sides like PSG and Barcelona, they don't change the way they play for anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't think losing today would make them more or less confident about the game, because they're going to keep playing the same way that they do.
Yeah, I get that.
This is what I mean by they don't fear you, because they don't fear anybody, really. They can go against City, Madrid, Bayern, each other. They're going to still play the same way they play football. And this is the element of not fearing that I mean.
But this is why Arsenal have to win the league title, because I know what Martin's saying, just get used to the feeling of winning, but you do need, like, even Man City. I don't think Rodri, Bernardo Silva, I don't think they respect Arsenal or the players. I don't think they do. I think Rodri looks at Declan Rice and thinks, how dare they compare him to me? I've won the league, I've won the Champions League, I've won a Ballon d'Or, Euros. I get it. Winning an FA Cup
says that about everyone, though.
Yeah, Fairs. He probably
literally
does.
Everyone. So when you are declared the best in the world,
But not many people are compared to Rodri. Only Rice and Caicedo in the Premier League, you would say, get compared to Rodri. So this is what I mean. The league title's key.
It's still debatable.
Yeah, but today, the difference should. Rodri and Declan Rice are a completely different type of players.
This is what I mean, Mo.
Rodri should be compared to Zubamendi.
But I think if Rice wins the Premier League, he will become a better player. I think he'll grow. I think
he will never be Rodri. He will never be Rodri. He doesn't have the ability to be Rodri. He doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the ability to be Rodri. Rodri is Zubamendi style. Declan Rice isn't the guy that will dictate the midfield on his own.
Maybe not.
He needs an Odegaard. Hold on, everyone. He's a great player. Box-to-box midfield, will fight for every ball, will deliver great crosses. He will absolutely be the lock. He won't be the dominant force in the midfield in terms of dictating a game. Like if Pep Guardiola had Rice today, they wouldn't have dominated the same. Rodri is a different caliber of player. Rodri is the guy that he's kind of like a Pirlo back in the days. You know what I mean? Rodri isn't the guy that is going to tackle left and right, run around. Rodri is the smart guy. Moving spaces here, half a space here, dominate the game in terms of passes. You know what I mean? Rice is never that guy.
But I think Rice can be different, Mo.
I'm not asking Rice to be Rodri. It's like asking Messi to be Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Messi's a brilliant player, but he's never going to be Ronaldo. And the same is true. Ronaldo is a brilliant player, but he's never going to be Messi. I think it's the same with Rice and Rodri. Completely different types of player who do completely different things on the pitch. As we were saying, Rice is more of the active type of player. So you would look more at a Kante than a Rodri to compare him.
Yeah, you would look more at an N'Golo Kante type of player, a guy that runs around. You know what I mean?
This is my point.
Very good defensively. Very,
But I
very,
think
very
Rice-
good defensively.
Yeah, I agree, Kev, because I think Rice is more Kante than Rodri. I think that's a really good point. But I think this is what I mean. And lastly, because I do have to go, I think this is what Rice needs to do. The way Kante was in the World Cup final, the way he was in the Champions League final when Chelsea beat you guys, go and put your stamp on the game where it doesn't matter if you're a passer, you're a dictator, you're an engine, box to box. Go and win the game, run over the opposition. Rice has the physicality to overrun Bernardo Silva. Maybe not overrun Rodri, but he's got the physicality to compete with him. And he didn't do it today. That's all my point is if you're not going to be Rodri and dictate the game in your own style. And listen, man, look, I've said it. Fair play to City. You deserve today. But look, there's a long season to go. Let's see what happens.
It's not that long, though. It's not that long. It's
Yeah,
not
but
that
Mo,
long.
it's not. You
We're
say
getting
that,
to
but
the
we
end.
could go. We could
Not
go
that
from
long.
potentially winning a treble
From the
to winning
international
nothing.
break, there is less than 2 months left after the international break. When the league
Yeah,
comes
but
back,
there's a lot of
there is
football
less
to
than
be
2
played,
months.
Mo. Tarek's telling me don't say we've won the league yet. That to me, it's
I'm just
enough
saying.
game. There's enough games to be played, Mo.
You've just said treble. Just
No,
said
he said-
treble.
Yeah,
No,
he said that.
I'm
we-
saying we could go from
You know
winning.
what?
You could win
They
it, or
had to
you could
drop the
win
quad
nothing.
talk.
Maybe you need to be humble a little bit and talk about the treble, not the quad. The quad has never been done. Now you have a treble. You have FA Cup, you got the Champions League, and you got the Premier League.
Just
I'm
get
not
the
writing
first
it
Talk
off.
one.
about this.
Just
The
get the
second
first
quad
one.
the City have stopped, by the way. Remember Liverpool in 22? They were going to go
Yeah.
for the quad
But listen, oi,
until they ran
I'm
into Man
gonna-
City, and Gundogan said no.
listen.
I'm gonna go ahead. Go ahead, Romario. Last words before I end the show.
I was just gonna say we're the last team that can still win the treble. So yeah, I'll leave it there. Enjoy your Carling Cup.
We
Can
can
Oh,
still
yeah.
win
Munich
a
win the
treble. We can
treble?
still win a
I
treble.
say you can win the treble. We can win We can win 3 trophies.
Which we've
Can't-
already done before, by the way.
Can't Bayern Munich win the
100%.
treble in PSG?
I
Listen,
think he's just talking about.
I wanna
PR.
I wanna thank everyone that joined us. The Mancunian, congratulations, Martin. You had the time of your life, especially the final against Arsenal. Probably you are vindicated, right? Like you're vindicated. Big up, Tariq. Congratulations for everyone that is here. True City fan Kilk is even joining from the garden.
From the garden. Yeah, I had to drive 2 hours to get here. So
Big up, Spartacus, for being here. I want to thank everyone. This now will take you to the actual cooking. Hamza's gonna cook on al-ahwa. I will see you
God.
guys on al-ahwa. Guys, hit the like button before you leave, and we're out of here.
Have a good one, lads.